And let's talk about French Toast for a second. Let's step back. Let's acknowledge the fact that they were one of the teams coming from the qualifier, and for them to find themselves now in the elimination bracket finals, that is an unbelievable feat. Is their journey and the road that they've been on, does it end here? Does it continue on to the grand finals for a third series in this tournament against Optic? Time will tell. This best of 5 will give us that direction. Recharge Oddball is the name of the game for game 1, and it's FaZe Clan versus French Toast in our elimination bracket finals.
All right, looks like we are getting the game underway. Players have loaded in. It is Recharge Oddball, like we discussed. One that'll definitely give an opportunity for both teams to really test the waters against each other, especially if this goes all 3 rounds. One of the, like we said before, one of the longer game types that we have in the mix.
Game plan today. Always somehow Renegade's already made his way to the shock flew there. Must have taken the most direct route, and now he's starting to impact this battle that is for Camo. The first shot's on the monster. This Camo player, though, he's gotten away. It's spotted bottom elevator right there. Couldn't quite see that, especially with outlines of observer. It actually didn't showcase that that player was there. And although Renegade gets a couple of kills, able to impact the battle for Camo, it is French Toast that get away with it. It's just a matter of what do they choose to do with that camouflage. And it looks like they're going to have the ball in hand. And Renegade stuck in the back of blue. Maybe not the best positioning to be able to help dictate the outcome of this early scoring going in French Toast's favor.
Ooh, nice escape here from Gilkey. He does manage to secure the kill on a Renegade and escape. Frosty's not able to pick up the kill either. You have 4 members of French Toast all locked up in Turbine here, just playing defense. As you can see, the aggression here from FaZe pushing across the map. But that trade is going to go heavily in the favor of French Toast. If they pick up the kill on SnakeBite, that will be what they need to see here. They're trying their best, but non-stop aggression.
Nice
FaZe is just throwing numbers in it.
Nice stick. It's allowed Suppress to get this ball 24-3 and starting to climb. He's going to be forced to drop it. Pressure from Catwalk he doesn't expect. Cost him his life, and that's Renegade creating the opening frag, the entry fragger for this FaZe roster. Unfortunately, nobody else gets a kill after that story. 4 go down, and French Toast look to build their lead.
As you can see, they are grabbing time here now. 30 seconds on the board for French Toast. They're the first ones to really draw any blood here in this game. Second Camo about to come up as well. You can see FaZe, they're trying to divide the map position, get out on the map, find some different angles, see if they can take out Ball, but they go a little bit too quickly, and another 3 down here for FaZe.
3 down, make it 4, and camouflage now to deal with when you come off respawn. Gilkey does a good job to relocate with this camo. Spots SnakeBite. That's the first respawner for this FaZe Clan team, trying to push into Turbine, but a beautiful flank and a nice grenade will cost SnakeBite his life, and Gilkey playing this so perfectly. The ball carrier is under a little bit of fire, but I like how exact French Toast was able to keep control of the map, even though they lost the ball. Look at this. With that kill, they're going to be able to acquire even more points, and all of a sudden, round 1, it's an ugly affair on the side of FaZe. 71-3, French Toast have taken off.
Dude, French Toast is running away with this one. They have not been able to, or FaZe has not been able to get anything going in their favor, constantly being taken out. You got 9 kills from Gilkey here, 8 from Suppress, and they are leading the slays here. Even Rammyy, top 3 players from French Toast, all ahead of top frags for FaZe.
And look at the confidence from Suppress. Yeah, he doesn't get the kill, but he was challenging. And if that player didn't get help in Frosty, he may have paid for it with his life. Suppress is starting to feel himself. 8-4-4 in the game. 4 do go down for French Toast, and if FaZe were ever going to come back in this round, similar to the Native Red, this is the moment that they have to take advantage of. SnakeBite with a phenomenal job not to trade there against Rammyy, and that's going to give his team numbers advantages as they continue to try to manifest this comeback.
Yeah, you can see Renegade's pushing over, trying to clear out bottom A, does pick up the kill onto MoNsTcR, and it is FaZe that holds this shock rifle. They're trying to prevent this ball rotation from coming out the back C. World 2 grabs one. Last player alive for the time being was Suppress, who picks up a kill onto Frosty. And with the spawners coming up in Turbine, Suppress grabs himself a double. He grabbed the shock rifle, picked up yet a secondary kill. So instead of French Toast rotating that ball, now it's FaZe that's forced to play it.
That's frustrating for sure. 2 players to no shield. Neither one of them get finished off. And you get a play ball. It's just a 37-point game now. It's not out of the possibilities, it's a much more doable situation, but French Toast has a little bit of room to play around and good control of the map as well. So we're gonna have to see if Frosty can create a couple of picks. He does the first on the Gilkey.
You can see great shots there. The sniper is moving around towards A, trying to find whatever lines of sight he can. Renegade picks up the kill onto Rammyy. And now they've got essentially the majority of map control. Frosty just looking around for anybody he can find, any kind of sneakers that may have made their way through over towards A. It looks like no one's there yet. The grapple play comes in. I thought that wasn't going to work for a second, but Renegade at max range ball grapple there does get the ball back into gold. That's going to be the first major chunks of time that they're getting, and they're starting to dig into this lead.
Yeah, Renegade with 44 seconds of ball time and adding up. Now just a 20-point round, what was once a 70-point lead for French Toast. Starting to dwindle. We've seen this story before. FaZe, the comeback kids so far today in a lot of these games. Can they manifest that again is the big question. Rammyy shuts that story down. Suppress catches the ball as well. Able to get it back into pipes, extend this lead. And now, even though FaZe have done such a good job to come back, they have to push. They have 10 points. Stop French Toast from ending round one.
Yeah, you can see they've got to move very, very quickly here. Renegade grabs one. Suppress is the last guy alive on the team.
Oh my God. I thought he killed the guy with the grapple for a second. I was
Oh
like, wait,
my,
what?
yeah, the grapple timing on that. I thought he was about to get a little bit of a scorpion medal going on that guy, but Suppressed, he dies, but relays the ball fast enough that we see French Toast take the first round.
Yeah, unbelievable. Great job on the relay there. It was such efficient objective, and they knew that their win condition was just get away, turn this corner with the ball. They execute perfectly. They put themselves in such a comfortable position to be able to put that strategy to use. And with that, French Toast take round one.
French Toast coming out to play in FaZe. May have kind of overlooked just what to expect here from this squad. You can see we're on board with Rammyy. He's sitting at top frag for his squad. He helps Gilkey escape with that camo. And now they're looking to see what kind of positioning they can get. MoNsTcR tries to escape with that ball, but he's taken out way too quickly.
Gilkey popping off in the kill feed with shock rifle as well. So although this ball is neutralized, you got to favor French Toast with the shock in hand. Gilkey gets a second. He's got camo as well. Gonna use that grapple to try and get out of a situation where you know he's being called out. The camo, it's out. So at least he's revealed, but still with this shock in hand. Teamwork from Rammyy and Gilk right now. Getting the job done. All four members of FaZe here to try and say something about it though. So although you get a double, the last two are Renegade and Frosty, and that's a lot of work still left to be done.
You can see Royalty, he does pick up that kill on the Suppress. As MoNsTcR goes down, we're looking at a 2v2 scenario once again. French Toast, they got a few seconds, but no meaningful time. Both teams vying for map position. You have the sniper in the hands of Gilkey. We've seen just how dangerous he's been with this so far all tournament long. Looking to try to pick off Gilkey, though. MoNsTcR flying in with the grapple, secures the kill and escapes.
Good set of slays here for French Toast as well. They're going to be able to get this ball all the way into blue. I believe there's one player back there to deal with. Gilkey does it himself. But in the meantime, Frosty's made his way to control. SnakeBite gets taken down. Gilk with another shock rifle kill. Can't hit the headshot, but Rammyy finishes up, capitalizes on the damage. Another round of slays in French Toast's favor. And they are heavily outslaying FaZe in this second round. They have the ball in the back of blue. They're going to build a little bit of a lead here. And depending on how long it takes FaZe to break this setup, they're going to be able to play comfortably from the lead in this anchor position. And this is everything French Toast fans want to see.
Gilkey just grabbing kills left and right. That kill onto Royal 2 with the nade shot is going to buy so much time for French Toast to grab back C. And whenever that ball is back C, you know we have to throw so many resources over there to get those kills, but we're actually not going to get ball because they're going to end up playing it, nonetheless. So the fact that they're able to rotate that, get some extra kills, some extra time, and now maintain a lead here in round two definitely bodes well for them.
35 seconds, still not too massive of a lead, especially with the amount of work that it felt like was being done by Gilk in that shock rifle. So a good job to break that setup eventually from FaZe. They keep this in a manageable striking distance with ball over an elevator. They're going to be able to chunk away at the deficit. 25, to 35 now, just down 10 points. Renegade tries to be aggressive, but gets spotted out, gets pre-naded, and because of that, that's the opening pick to the setup being broken.
There it is, grabbing ball once again. That's MoNsTcR here, and just take a look at the slays. At FaZe, this is probably outside of their optics series. This is the first time we're seeing them really get outslayed.
Yeah, and French Toast doing such a good job so far throughout this tournament of keeping up with the slays with all the high tier caliber players, teams that they've been up against. No shock that they've been able to hold their own here in this series. But what an impressive feat, like I said, it would be to beat SSG, to beat Optic, to beat FaZe, all three of what I would assume are the three best teams in our league. And with that, that would be such an impressive opportunity for these guys. A monumental task they put them in front of themselves. And honestly, getting a rematch against Optic that I would not say is a guaranteed series.
Oh, absolutely not. I think this tournament's still anybody's tournament right here. Even French Toast, like we said, looking really, really solid here. MoNsTcR having himself quite a performance. Now we're on board with MoNsTcR still. He's doing what he can. He's got 2 players flying in on him. He's got camo. He had 2 repulsors, and he puts both of them to use and stays alive. Gets damage on Royalty, who's trying to push out a gold, and every bit of damage, everything MoNsTcR does here to just delay this inevitable push is going to be huge here for French Toast. They already won the first round of ball. They've got a 30-second lead here in the second round, and they are just holding off this aggression with no issue.
Yeah, such a strong setup from them, and I loved MoNsTcR getting in the face, just delaying, and then the teamwork from the other players that were in blue. Perfect play from French Toast. It does look like the setup is about to be broken, but the damage has been done. The lead is back up to 35.
Definitely a big lead. 21 kills apiece for Gilkey and Rammyy. Frosty is now broken into that 20 kill mark as well, considering the number of rounds here. But still, slays in favor of French Toast. Ball still easily in their favor. Minute 45 left on the clock. Great toss here from Gilkey. Almost didn't make it as he picked up the plasma pistol, but sure enough, also grabs the ball. And this is the final push from FaZe. If someone from FaZe goes down here, they are in serious trouble. SnakeBite grabs the kill. Royal 2 gets one on to suppress, but we saw this in the first round. Even though they're getting the kills, you have to kill the ball guy. They rotated ball away and finished it last time, and they may be able to do it again, and sure enough, they get all 100. Oh my.
Unbelievable. French Toast take game 1 2-0 and efficiently play objective, right? That was the name of the game so often from French Toast. Those players are always on top of the ball. They're always in a position to play the ball, always making the lives of FaZe just painful to try and sift through what the right decision is. The positioning difference was the big story there in oddball. And although the pickup of Renegade is great, the oddball pains for this FaZe roster, which was once Sentinels, continues on, and it comes back to bite them here in the elimination bracket finals. And now you find yourselves down in the elimination bracket finals. I know Active said he prefers this FaZe team playing from a deficit, playing from behind when their backs are against the wall. Well, guess what? You get what you ask for. The backs are against the wall. They find themselves down in the series. Empyrean Slayer is game 2, and we've already seen how French Toast can have success against good teams on Empyrean Slayer as well.
Yeah, I mean, in any new map, I think bodes well for a new roster, right? And, you know, a lot of people pointed out it is new rosters for both these squads, but the core of FaZe has been together for God knows how long at this point. Empyrean Slayer, like you pointed out, we've seen them play extremely well on it. It is a new map, one of the ones that FaZe is going to have the least amount of reps on as a squad. And based on that first game, that almost looked less close than what we saw in a lot of the earlier series here from that French Toast squad. It, you know, really didn't look like they had any trouble in that game against FaZe.
No, they were getting their kills when they needed to. They had great power up, power weapon control, Gilkey popping off with a shock rifle, everything you want to see if you're a French Toast fan. Every opportunity put in the right position from the players as well. But the most crucial piece to it all is how scrappy MoNsTcR is a lot of the time when he goes for the oddball immediately off spawn. So many times you like see the ball is on its respawn point and you're like look away from it and you try to find yourself a fight before you really try to think about the objective. MoNsTcR is so objective eccentric that he's scrappy. He's annoying to play against because if you look away at the very wrong second, he's already got the ball, he's turning the corner, and now all of a sudden 15 seconds, 20 points are going in favor of his team. That level of objective efficiency is such a pain in the rear to try and play against, and that's all MoNsTcR.
Yeah, he's been absolutely unworldly, especially in some of these online environments here. He's been.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to word the way that I want to say it.
But get it
not
out.
to take anything away from him, but at least within this environment alone, he is an absolutely incredible player. Awareness, decision making, everything in this environment goes perfectly for him.
Sounds like there's an underlying message that you're trying to say, but in all honesty, I know that there's a lot of claims, there's a lot of conversations all over the place, but I've been playing with MoNsTcR for quite a bit, and I think he's just a really good player. Sometimes the moment gets too big for him at LAN events and whatnot, but online where he's comfortable, he's one of the best to do it, I think, and having himself a hell of a weekend so far. Let's see how far he's willing to take it. And right now it's 5-0 on the side of FaZe. They start off pissed off and perfect right now. 6-0. Rockets in the hands of Renegade, and they look to be aggressive as he pushes the enemy tower.
Yeah, definitely a very hot start. About the best you can hope for if you're a FaZe fan here. MoNsTcR does grab the first kill, put it on the board, 9-1. That doesn't mean this is over for French Toast. We saw them mount monstrous comebacks in the past, and this is one of the maps that really kind of plays into the big kill lead, or swings, I should say. One team gets 10 kills, the other one answers back, gets 10 or 15 themselves, and all of a sudden what was once a huge lead gets blown out of the water.
On the bright side, they're out of rockets. On the bad side, it's 16-1. MoNsTcR getting spawn killed on the cuts. Renegade finding a kill. Bodies dropping in front of Frosty before he can even react. And it's 18-1 all of a sudden. If you wondered if Sentinels were going to respond and be resilient after a loss, well, I think Active knew a little bit of what he was talking about. Sometimes he's wrong. But this time, money on the head, or nail on the head, money in the bank, 21-3. This is an absolute showcase from everyone on Sentinels, and that was absolutely disgusting from SnakeBite.
SnakeBite showing that he still got it. Connects with the no-scopes there for a double kill. And now, look at this. What is this? Like almost 5 minutes into the game, we are seeing the very first person with 2 kills from French Toast here. That is just absolutely absurd.
23-6, and it seems like for the first moment, if you're a French Toast player, you're able to breathe, you're able to move with your shield. But just as I say that, we get a nice observer point of view of the plasma pistol coming through, knocking off the shield, and you got overshield SnakeBite running at you. Nice shots to delete that overshield. That's gonna force him to back up. Rammyy doing everything he can to subside some of the pressure, but you know that FaZe want to be aggressive. They get the first couple of kills, and for the first time in this game, French Toast get the opportunity to push.
Yeah, down by 16 here. Now, with the thing going well in their favor is they're still racking up a lot of these kills, and they've got a lot of deaths to work with. Pit Slayer, the reason you see these kind of crazy swings a lot of the time is you are force spawned onto one side of the map. If all of the enemy team gets into your base, you will still spawn with them. There is no safety in spawns, and pretty much when they're in your base with power weapons, there's no safety in numbers either. It's just more and more deaths. Great Repulse comes in. Frosty dies before he's even to fall off the map, but nonetheless, they are cutting into this lead. It was, what, 18 before? It's down to just 11 now, so by no means is this one over.
All of a sudden, the response is a strong one from French Toast. The second they get off their back feet, they start to compete. It's a 10-kill game, but I mean, it was a 30-kill game, what felt like just moments ago. Obviously, we haven't gotten to that extent of a lead, but probably what it felt like being 25-3 or whatever it was. But a phenomenal set of sways and control from French Toast have got them back into an winnable, playable situation here. 9 kills is something that you can easily come back for it with the right set of plays, the right set of power shift. But unfortunately, Frosty, he finds himself a double right as the overshield and the snipes are coming up, and that's going to allow FaZe the opportunity to control a lot of this power that's respawning.
Yeah, you can look at this setup though. Frosty uses that repulse to jump back up into Sword, get the heat wave, and then save SnakeBite as they push down and secure the overshield. So that comeback that you were seeing from French Toast, this is how it gets shut down. Get some additional weapons, get these power-ups. Both teams have a sniper now, but who's going to be able to get that first pick? Royal 2 does go down to Suppress, so big win for Suppress. MoNsTcR dies to Frosty. You can see it's Renegade here that has the sniper rifle, doing his best to stay alive. 2 players collapsing on him now.
He's surrounded right now. He actually can't go into runway because Rammy's on the other side of it. He can't hit the shot quite under Rammyy there, and he's actually backing up in the Sword, but surrounded once again. Renegade, Rammyy in the front. There was another player in the back, and I believe it was MoNsTcR. They're going to be able to take that snipe, but in the meantime, Frosty's found a snipe of his own.
There you can see how is he going to be able to put this one to use. MoNsTcR has it in his back pocket. They getting call-outs of where some players may be. It's only 3 shots, though, so not a lot of sniper used to be had. MoNsTcR does pick up on the trade on the SnakeBite, but I'd say definitely a huge beneficial trade to SnakeBite in that scenario. He gets the sniper rifle out of MoNsTcR's hands, takes away some of that pressure that they have. The only way to come back from huge deficits like this is the nonstop aggression and collapse on the spots, right? You're not going to be able to come back from down 15 kills in a standoff where maybe 1 or 2 picks are happening.
The runway push, not successful for SnakeBite this time around, but so much room for error. 48-34 right now. Overshield and snipes are coming up in 15 seconds, but with Royal 2 in the kill feed, you got 1 life to give. And unfortunately, it does look like FaZe have opted to overextend. And surely your teammates are going to need some help back at your base. Unfortunately, still can't get the kill. There it is. SnakeBite finds it 50-36. Still a comfortable win for FaZe. They started off this game in the most dominant fashion that we have yet to see an Imperial Slayer stick out at the start. And with that, they tie this series up. So that all ball game, put that one in the back rear and move forward. The series tied up. It's a best of 3 from here on out. Obviously, it's a best of 5 overall. Tied the series up 1-1.
Yeah, as we look at game number 3, Streets King of the Hill. You know, thinking about the game type versus what we've seen from both these teams so far, you know, I don't know where it necessarily benefits one or the other. I think if I had to choose, considering and putting French Toast in the upper echelon of teams, I still go Streets King of the Hill in favor of FaZe. The reason I say that is we did see French Toast lose a few King of the Hills earlier, especially in some of the hills they kind of got blown out. They brought, no matter what the game is, they've always kind of managed to bring it back and make it interesting at least. But as far as overall experience, of course, it's not a new game type. It's one that FaZe has been extremely successful on before, and one, as far as King of the Hill format goes, we've seen French Toast already drop a couple times in the tournament here. So this is definitely FaZe's opportunity to come back out, take a 2-1 lead. And you want to make this a quick series, right? You've got, no matter who wins this series, you've got a mountain ahead of you next, and that is defeating Optic twice if you want to win this tournament. So you want to make quick work of the elimination finals and just focus on the green wall.
If you thought this was going to be a good series, this is a game mode that needs to go into French Toast's hands. This is a game type that when we watched Optic and FaZe play earlier on, it was a 4-0 dominant sweep on the side of Optic. So this is a game type maybe FaZe not necessarily is their strongest map mode combination. That means French Toast needs to take advantage of this as an opportunity to regain the series lead.
Opening start here, huge favor of French Toast. They put all 4 down. 3 go down here for French Toast, but weapon advantage definitely going over to FT.
Suppressed here with the Stalker. He's going to be flying out, but he's got multiple players to try and deal with. Does a lot of damage, but was by himself, so that damage is irrelevant. They get the kill, they get a few more, and now Gilkey spotted out mid-stairs, gets taken down. It's going to be early time in this hill, early points going towards FaZe as they try to get this first point on the board.
You can see Stalker Rifle being so instrumental in these games. Gilkey's yet to grab one here on the board. Hill going over in favor of FaZe, but it's only, you know, roughly a quarter of the way finished. French Toast, on the other hand, have yet to be able to even touch the hill. Constant slays back and forth, but overall advantage FaZe. And they got to be careful here because the collapse is coming in from French Toast. 2 players on stairs, 2 more coming towards from Planner's side. It looks like the C balcony hold is real. Renegade's got a Stalker Rifle up there. And overall, this first hill definitely benefiting FaZe.
Yeah, I personally don't like the 2 up mid stairs strat. Like, it's such an easy nade route. I feel like you always have to back up towards PD, get heaven, get an angle to where you can get some chip damage up, and then potentially push mid stairs from like a flank. The fact that they sent multiple players up mid and up tires, that was never going to work out for French Toast. Unfortunately, this hill starting to drastically go towards FaZe's favor now. With rockets coming up, it kind of forces the hand of French Toast to play a little bit more aggressive and take more direct routes than they're going to want to.
Here you can see new rockets came up. Gilkey does fly in, grab those, singles out a kill. Suppress trades out the Frosty kill. That's still going to be rockets down. A lot of hill time going over to FaZe, though, in this first hill still. This is a very long first hill. To have the second set of, or the first set of rockets already come up again here off respawn. Not sure if anyone was able to secure that yet, but still, even with all these trades and all this action, French Toast is yet to be able to get any significant time in the hill.
No significant time, but no point given as well. But the longer that this hill stays neutralized, the longer this game goes on. Whichever team scoring these points will have such a dramatic increase in win conditions due to time becoming a factor later on that you almost want to move on from this hill if you're French Toast, especially with the 2 differential score bars that you have up until that first point. It's almost guaranteed that FaZe is going to finish this off. It's just FaZe probably waiting for the right opportunity to rotate this hill in order to gain another advantage and set up for the second.
Yeah, definitely a wise decision by French Toast to back down and sacrifice that first hill. The odds of capping that one at that point are not looking good. You don't want to keep throwing deaths out there, sacrificing any weapons you may be getting when you can rotate and get an early setup in C.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they've done. Gilkey with the Stalker, he's in the back of C. Look at Suppress with the Bulldog in hand, able to find a kill as well. And look at this, already just about halfway through this second point, trying to tie this game up. A much better result than trying to compete for a hill that you probably had no chance of grabbing unless an absolute slaughter happened. You can't really predict that in the current situation that you're in.
Yeah, there you go. Some solid trades come out. SnakeBite picks up a kill. They're starting to try their best to push out C. There's new rockets are coming up, so you're going to need to see both teams put a big focus on their Renegade. Wisely is pushed up through ATM, trying his best to secure these rockets. Elects to not go for them and just push up to try to secure a kill. MoNsTcR does go for the rockets and gets taken out. This is pretty good for FaZe. They're winning a lot of these trades. It looks like Royal 2 will finally be able to push up and grab these rockets. But what we didn't expect, Gilkey sees 2 players in the hill waiting for him. And even though he snuck through, he's not going to be able to get anything accomplished.
And because he dies so late, he staggers the respawns for French Toast as rockets were picked up by FaZe. Those rockets once again stagger the current respawners to be behind Gilkey, and now French Toast have to wait even longer to have all 4 players alive. That's allowed all of this point to be a perfect setup for FaZe. Even though French Toast had an initial great hold to gain a significant piece of time, they're rewarded with nothing because they give the entire point right back to FaZe, now a 2-0 lead here in game 3.
Yeah, you can see FaZe was so clean with it. Once they didn't hold the hill to start, but it was the first set of rockets coming off respawn that really gave them the opportunity to lock down that hill. They traded out a lot of kills as they contested those, and Royal 2 securing rockets helps give them a 2-0 lead.
Once again, a nice start to the hill for French Toast. It's not about how you start, though. It's about how you finish some of these hills, and they need to do a good job to get this hill quickly. 2 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock. You're down 0-2. Every second that goes off the clock, it's going to be a painful loss of time that you have to play against here as this game starts to approach the mid to the late game, right? So this hill, it's gone by very fast, but not quite done yet. Here comes the push from FaZe. The kills look like they benefit French Toast for now, and Frosty He's gonna probably give this point up, try and play for Rockets. Unfortunately, he pays for it with his life, trying to make a little bit of space over in tires, and that's French Toast's opportunity to get the Rockets themselves. And this is a beautiful opportunity to try and tie this game up now with the hill being scored, rotated towards shotgun, early time in their favor, and Rocket.
Yeah, this is going to bode really well for them, right? So they were able to secure that first hill, and they didn't even have to use the rockets to get set up for the second one.
Yep.
Suppress uses the very first rocket to take out Renegade, and they're getting callouts of where everyone else is on the map, and it looks like FaZe went ahead and went for a kind of long route or long flank. Doesn't work out in their favor. All members go down. Renegade comes off respawn, and the thing with this shotgun hill as well, same thing with when the hill's in C, it's a long time to be able to push across the map and actually contest the hill.
Yeah, and they're having a hard time breaking this one, but Renegade's going to do it himself. The double kill. Now Royal 2 finds the third. You'd think, Jesus, that was closer than it needed to be. MoNsTcR, last player alive, able to trade with Frosty, but finally the setup, it's broken. And if you're FaZe, you got to play perfect from here on out to get this third point. You're in a good position to do so, but we'll see how this first push French Toast is going to be weathered.
Yeah, they're in really good position here. Royal 2 having all of the weapons towards Hill is going to do wonders for them. Suppress does his best to try to use the spike grenades to nade out Hill, but gets nothing accomplished. For Royal 2, he's not going to sit back and take damage from those. He jumps out, they get the double team, he's watching across for any flanks that may happen, and even though French Toast was so close, 90% of the way of capping this hill, FaZe is now taking the lead on this hill and looks like they may secure it.
Yeah, MoNsTcR tried to get there to deny it. Unfortunately, he couldn't, and it is a perfect hold from FaZe. It was everything they needed to once again take the lead back by 2, and as this hill moves to bottom middle, Kyle, Rockets are going to respawn, but this clock now under 2 minutes will be another win condition in favor of FaZe to play around.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what FaZe decides to do here. Are they going to try to just keep French Toast out of hill? This is the hill that generally, if you're going to do that, is the best one to do it on. You don't have to worry about trying to get into the hill yourself, putting yourself in a dangerous position to be easily killed, and just play the clock. So I think that might be what we're seeing from FaZe here. With a 2-cap lead, French Toast is going to have to secure this hill within the next, minute or so, or else there's just going to be not enough time left to get back into it the following hill.
Yeah, you can bet that they're going to try and neutralize this hill, especially with a minute and 38 on the clock. The more that they can keep French Toast out of this, the more likely they are to continue to play time. And they've done a good job so far. Nearly none of this hill being accumulated by a French Toast right now. Just about a fifth or a sixth of it at this point. 40 seconds or so off the clock so far. The recipe for success is continuing to work.
Yeah, now when it comes down to these hills, Wes, and as you can see, French Toast, they're doing a really good job. They know they've got to be set up in the middle of the map and just hold FaZe away. Yeah. Which, with 3 dead once again and SnakeBite last guy alive, they are securing this capture. I think they should go ahead and get it. And there is still a lot of time left to play.
Oh, they've done a phenomenal job up until the point where we were just talking about it, of locking this hill down. Once they got a set number of dead, their setup was almost perfect. They actually get the point. It's 3-2, a minute and 27 seconds left, and now FaZe are going to be done playing time. That plan didn't work out in their favor, and they want to make sure that they end this game playing at their footing. Gilkey was so cheeky, hiding in the back of B right there, that he's able to get an assassination and break what FaZe thought was going to be an early setup for this 5th hill. Or 6th hill.
Great heads-up play by Gilkey. He knew he had no business getting in that hill or contesting it yet. Hid in the corner, waited for 2 members of FaZe to push up. Rammyy was a distraction as he came out of PD, and Gilkey picks up that kill and really prevents any significant amount of time going over to FaZe.
Yeah, unbelievable play by Gilk. Heads up, just patient veteran play, and rewarded his team a little bit of time. But since then, FaZe have broken through. They've gotten the few kills they need. Hill remains neutral for now. The battle for that last rocket, Frosty won it. Frosty put it to use. And although you're trying to block PD's spawns if you're suppressed, Royal 2 still spawns there. They do get him taken down with the help of MoNsTcR, but Renegade still flying around, eventually taken down. And SnakeBite, he's going to be the last line of defense until FaZe can respawn. And look at that. The teamwork for French Toast really starting to shine here to try and get this game tied up.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the game too, like French Toast is out slaying FaZe. Even though they're losing, they are still out slaying them. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, or 37 to be exact here, with that clock freezing whenever they're in hill, they set up and hold B. They're in a prime position to actually take the lead in the series.
Yeah, absolutely they are. But for right now, the slays immediately go into FaZe's favor as that all happened. So right now it's a PD spawn for French Toast. You're trying to make some space on shotgun side of the map if you're MoNsTcR, but unfortunately you get hit by that nade. You're getting surrounded. He didn't know a player was above him. And he creates enough of a distraction for his team to have success on the other side of the map. That being said, success, it doesn't last long in this league. Renegade made his way up driveway, hits the perfect shots, more damage onto a second, and that's the opening damage anyone needed on the side of FaZe to get back in the hill. So phenomenal initial entry damage from Renegade. Once again neutralizes this hill, and it looks like they're starting to play Tom.
Yeah, you can see Suppress, he goes for the rockets. He knows he needs to make a Hail Mary play, but FaZe wisely with only 20 seconds left and make that 5 seconds left. Now, they don't want to touch the hill. They don't want anything to do with it. They're forcing the rest of French Toast to just throw their bodies at it to try to extend the game, but it's too little too late. And with that, FaZe takes a 2-1 lead over French Toast.
Just about even in the slays, though, throughout that game. A phenomenal job by French Toast, a team that, in all honesty, if you told me these two teams were playing earlier in this week, I would say I would think that FaZe are going to have a heavy advantage in the slaying department. So the fact that French Toast can compete in that department makes me think that they will be in every single one of these games. We've seen this be a fairly close series, I would say, contention wise and slay wise. I mean, obviously FaZe's start to the Empyrean Slayer allows that to look like it's a blowout, but I mean, when you start that rough and you still figure out a way to make it 50-36 rather than 50-20, I'd say they did a good job of rebounding and trying to make the best of what they could. That game 3, however, was as close as it could be, and as we go to game 4, this is French Toast's tournament lock in the line now, and FaZe 1 game away from getting back to a grand finals where they will face that Optic Gaming team.
Yeah, and if you go through the games that we had so far, French Toast convincingly won game 1. Then right back at it, FaZe game 2, no issue. That was the first really close game that we've seen. It was within 1 flag cap. Time definitely played a factor. And as far as, like we said, slays were absolutely even, if not in French Toast's favor to begin with. So for that to happen going into this game number 4, it just shows like these two teams, French Toast, they've matched up against everybody.
Yeah, they've done a good job to show the world that, hey, these 4 individuals, they might not be a set team, but they can play with the best. And at an individual level, they can make plays against the best. They can win gunfights against the best. A little bit of a, I'm assuming, crash or technical difficulties going. It was good that it happened at the very start of the game. Nothing had been determined yet, so we'll get the lobby restructure. We'll get back into the game as soon as possible. Until then, is there anyone in this series that's starting to stick out as like the MVP to you, Kyle? Or is there someone on French Toast that you really want to see more of in order to get over the hump and potentially force a game 5?
That's a good question. I mean, from this series alone, I don't think there's anyone standing out. I think everyone's playing pretty well for both teams. I'd say overall from the tournament, from what I've seen, Gilkey definitely falls into that category. I mean, even in that last game, Gilkey had some great plays, hiding back B to prevent that hill cap in the initial rotation on streets was a great heads-up play and exactly what you want to see from your teammates. So I think Gilkey's definitely had a lot of winning plays here for this squad, but it's going to come down to everybody to step up, right? There is no, when you're going up against a team like FaZe, there's nobody that can take a match or a series off or even a game off, right? You need to make sure every one of your lives are valuable in the game. You need to make sure you're the objective efficiency, you're getting caps or ball time, or in this next case, getting strongholds out of your slays, because you can easily kill the other team. And we saw this in a big way for the native red versus FaZe game, right? Even slays across the board, but 150-point lead for native red. Now, ultimately, they ended up losing that game, which we know, but it doesn't change the fact that they were able to catch early strongholds, trade kills, and mount a huge lead.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. If I was going to call out an MVP so far for the series, though, I'd have to go with Renegade. The entry frag damage that he seems to continuously be doing, the openings that he's creating. I mean, we know that this former Sentinels roster, now FaZe, is world class. They have the ability to win any tournament that they play in. Haven't won in what feels like quite a while over the past year. And there's frustration that's obviously coming with that. It must be a sign of like to be able to have someone on your team that is giving that damage, that is getting those slays pretty much single-handedly. That gives just so much more opportunity to the rest of the team. It's almost shocking that like they haven't been able to have even more success than they've already had throughout this weekend, but I'm sure that's growing pains. I'm sure they'll learn how to capitalize on what Renegade's able to provide. And that's nothing away from Lethal and everything that Lethal did for this team. I just think that Renegade's aggressiveness is something that this team desperately can benefit from if used in the right light.
Yeah, I mean, Renegade is one of those players, and there's very few players that fit this category that could almost make any team they join better, right?
Yeah.
There's not many people that can fall into that category, control power weapons, play aggressively. And Renegade even, he has the ability to kind of sit back with a stalker rifle and just rain damage like a turret. He fits all categories. He checks all the boxes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I can't think of a player. I mean, he's like those Pistolas, the Lethals of the H2A era, where it's like the second he's on your team, you know you got better. You know that this is a pillar to build around. And right now, what an opportunity to put him, Frosty, SnakeBite, Roll 2 together. They find themselves here in their first tournament. A little bit less practice than they'd probably want to be, but they're having some success. But in the meantime, French Toast having a lot of success themselves. A phenomenal start to this live fire game from them. They get 3 kills, and last play alive, he actually gets taken down by Rammyy. Not even a trade, and because of that, Suppress is going to throw this overshield to his small door, and he's going to be able to activate it. Gets smacked, though. The timing from SnakeBite is perfect, and that overshield is negated. And in the meantime, Kyle, a trip cap is in place for French Toast, but as I say that, multiple members being dead allow for multiple strongholds to be transferred.
That was a gift from the Halo gods to SnakeBite. Rammyy somehow stays alive and doesn't trade on screens, gets the overshield. We saw SnakeBite rotating to bottom center. I'm pretty sure it showed up on his screen, but for just a fraction of a second here, and SnakeBite picks up that free kill. French Toast, they had a triple cap and just grabbed the new overshield. They're still maintaining a big lead, even with that freebie that was just granted to FaZe. If Rammyy was able to stay alive with that overshield, grab 1, maybe even 2 of those kills, that would be extremely painful right now.
And this is something we've seen several times at this point. FaZe falling behind early in a stronghold game. We saw the native red street strongholds that they fell down 160 points. They were able to manifest a comeback, but you keep making these mistakes and falling behind in these early games. You can't continue to expect to make up these deficits. And right now, French Toast doing such a phenomenal job to create separation early in this game in the score.
Yeah, you can see here, 80-point lead, and FaZe doing everything they can to try to stop this bleeding, but it's just not going out in their favor right now. Looks like Renegade will be able to secure that overshield, though. This is what they need to make a good break. And if we know anything from FaZe, doesn't matter how far down they are in the series, they're able to set up control and go on a 250-point run.
Yep, here it comes. 92 is the run that French Toast had. What the FaZe have to say about it? With an AC hold, it's an untraditional hold that you typically want to figure out a way to convert B at some point. Renegade trying to make his way over there, but the pressure from French Toast is going to be towards the tower side of the map. MoNsTcR is back tower. He took down Royal 2, and in the meantime, trying to hunt him down is Frosty. He's able to do that, but in order to do so, you give up the rest of the map. You're able to hold C, and French Toast looks like they're going to be spawning over towards A, converting A over. B now in the hands of FaZe, so I like the transition there that they were able to implement with the slay over a tower. Yeah,
you can see, it looks like Frosty goes down, new sniper rifle spawns. Gilkey's trying to contest that top center, but loses the fight to Renegade. Renegade now has that sniper rifle moving around to Nest, trying to see if he can find any angles to these players here in B. There is some damage coming in. Great cap here. I believe that was MoNsTcR to secure that capture at B. Just buy some additional time and try to keep the pressure off.
It's a trip cap situation. B not yet transferred. There it goes. Trip cap for FaZe. MoNsTcR hops into A immediately, but he's by himself. As you get this kill, if you're SnakeBite, that's big. No matter if you died or not, you're able to continue to score. It was a 92-point lead. Remember, it's now just a 50-point lead as FaZe continue to scrap their way back into this game pool.
Great plasma pistol melee shot coming out from Gilkey. We'll go ahead and secure a 1 kill. Wisely backs down and rotates rather than continuing the aggression towards A, which I think FaZe might have been expecting. Looks like they're trying to push over towards C. However, there was a player. Renegade was hiding on OS. He had that OS, Wes. I think he might have been able to pop that. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be Royal 2. Did they escape with it, or is it still down? I don't know what happened to that overshield.
One of the FaZe members have it right now. It is going to be Royal 2 who ended up with it. I think you were right about him wanting to save it maybe for the right moment. That almost came back to bite them, but in reality, they were able to figure out a way to get that overshield secured. And now with that overshield, Royal 2 gets that first kill on the pressure over at A. That's going to allow Frosty and Royal 2 to finish off the last player that's in A and continue to score points.
Yeah, you can see here, starting to cut into that lead, 111 to 67. Royal 2 grabs himself a kill, takes another player, no shields. Gilkey, last member alive, getting hunted down by 2 members of FaZe. Nowhere to go, he will be taken out.
2 fresh down, 2 over at B for French Toast, and they're going to have a lot of pressure to deal with over from A flat. You're seeing Renegade want to get the reset. He does just that. This player now, Rammyy, last player alive, hops into B, eats 4 shots from Royal 2. All 4 go down for French Toast. And FaZe are doing a much better job of controlling and bait and switching now that they have a little bit of room and a little bit of momentum behind their gameplay here in the mid game.
And they just put 4 down again. They spawn everyone from French Toast up in A.
Jesus.
French Toast does cap A, but somehow Royal 2 stays alive, putting out so much damage, and they go 4 for 0 to secure those captures once again. As you can see on your screen, new sniper rifle is going to be up in roughly 10 seconds. French Toast comes off spawn towards B and will be able to secure that cap, but take a look at the kill feed. SnakeBite, he gets a repulse on Gilkey to knock him off the map. And with that being said, a 4v3 advantage and definitely map position to try to secure this overshield.
Snipes up as well. Suppress is the first casualty here, and control still seems like it belongs to FaZe. I know B and A are in control of French Toast for right now, but for how long is the question. They do a good job to take down SnakeBite. That's going to stop this push. Look at this. 3 players, not to no shield. Royal 2 gets 2. Renegade with 1. Frosty with 1. All 4 go down again. And how many times recently have we been able to say that for French Toast? They cannot figure out a way to trade efficiently right now with the slays. They're starting to get out of hand. And even though they're still in this game, momentarily, we may not be saying the same thing with this trip cap in place.
What's it called when you stack all the French Toast pieces on top of each other, or like, you know, with pancakes, like a just this pancake stack or something? That's what it looked like. B Garage was right there. All 4 members just stuffed Garage stacked on top of each other.
In the garage.
Yeah, that was almost painful to watch here. But as you can see, FaZe maintains that control. They've definitely heavily outslaying. One of the first games decisive period that we've seen them heavily outslaying this French Toast squad, and a lead change as well.
That French Toast stack, that play, take that play out of the playbook. Rip it right out, throw it away, leave the thing in the garbage, because that was not a good one. They got set up, lined up, and taken down. Ever since then, it has been an all FaZe showing here. 190 now to 128. A 70-point lead for was once a nice 72-point lead for French Toast earlier on. Just like that, FaZe show that they have every ability to flip any scoreline on its head. And now they are just about 55 points away from finding themselves in the grand finals.
Yeah, they're looking to punch that ticket to the grand finals right here, right now. They don't want to let this game go to a game number 5 and have a toss-up Aquarius Team Slayer here. They want to close this out with this live fire strongholds with that new overshield spawning. This might be one of the last overshields we actually see in play on this game mode. As far as kills go, you know, one of the reasons we're seeing maybe a little bit of a discrepancy here, but just as I say that, MoNsTcR, huge triple kill, make that the overkill as he secures the kill on Royal 2, and they're not down by much here.
Not down by too much, and with that control, that overshield was massive Right now, MoNsTcR making the play of the game to keep his team not only just in this game, in this tournament still. 30 points separate the two. They've got control of A and C. The untraditional hold that we talked about earlier now belongs to French Toast, and you know what that means. They want to make their way onto B eventually.
Absolutely here. Gilkey just not having the same performance that we've seen from him all tournament long. He's been one of the, instrumental in this team's performance up until this point, but it looks like FaZe just has his number this time.
Yeah, Gilk not having the best game for, but his team doing everything to keep him in this tournament. And if we know anything about Gilk, he's been having a hell of a day individually, performance-wise. He's given his team so many different game wins and open windows. So it's about time they repaid him the favor. If they can get him to a game 5, Gilk will repay him. I have a good feeling.
Oh, absolutely. And even though he might not have the points on the board, he is top assists for his squad. And then, of course, damage, something we don't get to see during the game. But damage and kills don't necessarily mean the same thing.
100%. As we get this in-game underway, still controlled by French Toast, now in the lead. The lead changes have started to multiply here as this game, the amount of pressure on these teams starts to be felt. Every single life, every bullet's gonna matter. Nobody home on the snipe from Renegade, but the teamwork from Renegade and Frosty clear out the tower. 3 go down for French Toast, and all 3 strongholds started to be transferred by the boys in blue.
But this has to be perfect Halo from FaZe now, right? They need to get 50 points here and only 17 needed for French Toast. In some of these stronghold games, it can be tough at times to try to close out a hill when you get into those constant cycle rotations for teams.
I don't know about that play.
But they need to hold. Yeah, that was definitely probably not what you wanted to see there. They need to make sure they don't force anything. They need to take their time, get their kills, and focus on one stronghold.
Yeah, the whole slide at the guy top tower and throw plasma, take that one out of the playbook as well. And massive triple from Renegade to get the reset. The last player alive trying to hop in the hill desperately. I don't know why, though. You have a little bit of time to play around, but now the moment has got to take place. You got one more spawn because the trip cap, it's going to be in effect here momentarily. They are in C, but it's a split spawn situation. Only one player in C. The last 2 for French Toast are actually front tower right now. MoNsTcR, he's the last player alive, trying to take down Frosty. Easier said than done, even if Frosty is no shield. And Frosty, he waits for MoNsTcR to take care of himself, then hops back into C. 238 and climbing.
Yeah, they do lose A, though, as the sponsor French Toast do come up across the map here. As long as they're able to hold off B, they will win this game. You can see they're set up perfectly. French Toast has to immediately make a decision. They've got 2 seconds maybe to play with. I like the idea to try to push to C. They need to contest hill. Sure enough, they do get in it. They're doing everything they can, but 3 dead and Rammyy, the last guy alive. The fairy tale run is going to come to an end. FaZe punches the ticket to the grand finals and knocks French Toast out of the tournament.
A hell of a showing from French Toast all tournament long, but we bid adieu. It was a good show, not enough in the tank to get the job done against FaZe, and now looking forward into the future, we have our grand finals set. We have Optic Gaming, the Green Wall, versus the FaZe clan, a story as old as time, a clash of just about every esport, it feels, and it's only right that FaZe clan have got themselves a roster that can make that magic happen now. And Optic Gaming, they've been waiting all day.
And the history here between these two teams, let's not forget that this FaZe roster is 3/4 of a team that was Optic at one point back in Halo 5 as well. So we've come full circle now, and we're seeing an Optic versus FaZe showdown here for the grand finals of the Space Station Gaming Spartan Snowdown.